we wanted this record to like match our energy live. And so we felt like keeping it short, sweet, straight to the point. We did trim the fat and try to have like a more straightforward approach. And I think like we've honestly found like the best Frozen Soul yet, honestly. We definitely didn't have a lot of time to prepare for it because we've been touring nonstop, so we really like locked in like 2.5 weeks in and just like started cranking songs out. The stress was worth it. Does that need to be in there? If it doesn't need to be in there, let's just trim it, get to the meat. We did that a lot with this record, and I think it like really, really pays off in the end because like I think every song is to the point right away. We cannot overthink this. I think that's how like a lot of songs came together. We literally took the breakdowns out of 2 other songs and made a full song out of the heavy parts. If that's the part we want to play, then why isn't that just the whole song? Using the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid.
Everyone, so again, this is Faisal with the Maadi, the Metalheads, and today we're diving into one of the coldest process in the modern death metal scene. In just few years, like Frozen Soul built like a strong reputation on a groove-driven and honestly just no nonsense brutality, like bringing old school death metal into a new era without losing its own identity. And now with the latest album, No Place for Warmth, is going to be out via Century Media Records. Like Frozen Sword is pushing into more instinct-driven, stripped down, and more aggressive direction. And today we're joined by the one and only Chad Green to break it all down. How you doing, Chad?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Goes. So, coming off years of touring and writing, like you guys been touring since 2021. You went into this album with almost a blank state mentally. So, what did you reset do for you as a band?
I mean, reality, like, we didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this record. I mean, I know it may feel like it because we put our last record out like 3 years ago, but we definitely didn't have a lot of time to prepare for it because we've been touring nonstop, so like, uh, we've been like trying to stay mentally fit and physically fit, honestly, in these 3 years, getting, trying to get ourselves, more in line with doing this full time. And we had like no material written. We had like bits and pieces, and some of the songs on this new record, we've had bits and pieces of these songs since the beginning of the band.
Yeah.
And it was a lot, but I think the most important thing going into like this record was like we wanted this record to like match our energy live. We hear it a lot like, oh, you got to see this band live. We hear that more than you got to hear this band's record, and it's like
Yes.
we get we get a lot of love live, so we really wanted it to match that. And so we felt like keeping it short, sweet, straight to the point, using the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid, we felt like was the way to like go. And I think even in doing that, like we actually did things in a more complicated way too, because we wrote catchier songs, I think, than we ever have, and it's not to say that we didn't grow and do things differently. We didn't necessarily strip it all down, but we did trim the fat and try to have like a more straightforward approach. And I think like we've honestly found like the best Frozen Soul yet, honestly.
So if I understand correctly, so you found the best Frozen Soul yet, and also you said that writing this record, like literally, it came on the spot. Like, so I want to know, how did that instinct-driven approach change the intensity of the songs?
Uh, I mean, really, it was everything. I mean,
Yeah.
we were super scared when we went to go record this record. I mean, first of all, because we were going to like a real studio with like a producer that like is very accomplished, and we're like,
Yeah.
damn, this guy's gonna think we're an idiot, bunch of idiots, and send us home or something. But we picked right, and given the circumstance of not having much, we chose to go with with Josh, and we got in there. He made us feel super comfortable, and we were able to just like really get going and craft everything. And it was stressful. Like we did have to worry, are we going to be able to accomplish this? Like, and we thought that a lot, but like I think,
Mhm.
you know, uh, we really like locked in like 2.5 weeks in and just like started cranking songs out. And then by the time it got to me in that last week we were there to do like lyrics or vocals, I already had like so much stuff laid out that like me and Josh just had to go through every song and tweak and make sure I had my patterns mapped
Mhm.
out. Uh, and then once we like started getting to that, we were able to like just start banging them out, and it really came together. So the stress was worth it.
So again, like working with Josh, which is like on a most modern production, also coming up with the result of the new album. That's something that you describe as maximal minimalism. So was that a yeah, was that a conscious reaction to overthinking, or something that naturally just happened?
I think it just I think it just naturally happened, honestly. I mean, we definitely went in with the mindset of like, yo, we cannot overthink this. Like, do not
Yeah.
overthink this. Like, I think that's how like a lot of songs came together. I mean, that's how like I mean, if you look at Absolute Zero and you look at Skin by the Wind, those are literally like those are song titles that I've had in the bank for a long time. I've wanted to make song
Okay.
titles, and we literally used pieces of other songs to make those two songs. Like we literally took the breakdowns out of two other songs and made a full song out of the heavy parts. Just because of the fact that we're just like, do you really need the rest of the song? Do you need it? Like, is it really
Yeah.
something you need? Or is that the part that everyone wants to hear? Is that the part we want to play? If that's the part we want to play, then why isn't that just the whole song? That's like kind of our
Yeah.
mentality going into this whole record. It's just like, does that need to be in there? If it doesn't need to be in there, let's just trim it. Let's just trim it and get to the meat. So
Yeah.
yeah, we did that a lot with this record, and I think it like really, really pays off in the end because like I think every song is to the point right away.
Can we say that the writing and the recording process of this album like was for the live crowd in mind?
Yeah, I mean, we always kind of think about that. We always think about
Mhm.
like how the songs are going to be live, but this record especially, man. We definitely we definitely wanted it to like to be just a bomb hitting you, you know? And I think it worked like for us especially playing the songs because when we play these like new songs live, we have like I feel way better than I do when we play our old songs. I don't know why, but it just feels so much easier to do live. Like they just hit straight to the point. I don't have to like overdo it. Like there's other songs that we have where it's like for my vocal style, it's I way have to like push and push and push, and I end up blowing my vocals out or something. But with this new record, we took the live show into consideration, and I thought like, okay, well, I can't sing like this because I'm not going to be able to do that live. Like
Yeah.
we really tried to focus on making sure that these songs hit live. So yeah, and I mean, we even the first day we played like Chaos Will Reign and Absolute Zero and stuff. At our last wrecking ball that we did, we were just like, holy shit, this feels great.
Speaking about the sound, funny thing, a lot of my buddies when I like told them, all right, guys, I'm doing some research on Frozen Soul right now, and I want to hear your opinions. So I had mixed opinions between, oh, this gives me vibe of Cannibal Corpse. No, this one gives me vibes of Bolt Thrower. This one gives me vibe of Mortician or Carcass. But I found out that Frozen Soul has like such a defined sound already, like it's typical and owned by Frozen Soul. So how did you evolve? your sound throughout the throughout your three albums?
Well, like I think like it's been more so like us just trying to do our own thing and have fun.
Yeah,
You know, when we were like starting out, we were trying to sound like other bands, you know? I mean, cuz that's just what you do. You know, you try to sound like what you like to listen to as when you start a band, you know, it's just the way it is. But I think as time moves on, like we have to like find ways to still love what we're doing, you know? And the only way we can do that is by like loving the music we're writing, you know? And I think like if we were to just like write carbon copies of classic bands, you know, over and over again, like we would first of all just be bored, you know?
yeah,
And it's not about that. Like it's incorporating the styles of genres that we love and the music that makes us fired up when we, you know, listen to it, keeping that spirit and that sound there, you know, but not like copying riffs and stuff like that. You know, it's like we mostly just go for the effect, you know,
yeah.
and like that same effect we feel. It's like we're honestly like chasing the dragon here, you know. It's like the feeling we got, you know, I think the feeling I got when I saw Bolt Thrower in 2013 at Chaos and Teos in Austin, Texas, you know, like when I saw them explode when they came on and I saw everyone flying off the stage, I was like, I want to be in a death metal band like that. You know, I don't want to be in a death metal band that just stands
Yeah.
there, you know, and the people just stand there. I want to be in a band where everyone flies off the stage and the crowd's going insane and, you know, it's a big party, you know. Uh and I think like, you know, we've just tried to enforce that like more, you know. It
Yeah.
just enforce it more and come into our
'Cause the,
own, you know, where we're you know, we're still paying tribute to all the bands that we love and stuff, but like we have our sound that we like, you know, and we know what
yeah.
fires up us up when we're on stage. And I think like it's just been less of a listening to other music when we're writing now and more of like we're just like, okay, how's this feel? Is that okay? That feels good, let's go, you know. Less of listening to influences, you know, and more like listening to ourselves like when we're practicing and playing.
So is it fair to say that's the one thing that you're never gonna change about Frozen Soul is that it's based the riff composing is based on feelings, not
Yeah,
copying.
yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yep.
And what do you think is something new that you are now open to explore more?
uh I don't know, like I'd say like honestly more like lyric and vocal focused songs, you know. I think like I've always been a little like, well, not a little, but a lot of bit self-conscious because I don't really see myself as like a vocalist. Uh, I'll always be a
Yeah.
drummer, you know, like I love rhythm. It's just my first instrument. It's like what I think like, you know, I don't see myself as like the singer of a band at all. So I think, you know, with this record, we had Josh to really push us and show me like, no, this is the hook. You need to repeat that hook, start the song off with it. I'm like, there needs to be a riff at the beginning of the song before that comes in. He's like, shut up, listen to me, you
Yeah.
know, and it took me a minute to get it, you know. And like now it's like I get it to the point where like I feel like when we go write our fourth record, it's literally just gonna be a bunch of fucking the catchiest songs we've ever written just because like I there's such fun ways to write songs like that, you know, that we never really saw before because I always just write from a drum perspective, you know. So
Fair.
yeah, it's yeah. I don't know if that
Hmm.
answers the question, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And also like that got me thinking about because whenever I listen to Frozen Soul, like I don't see you as like as a vocalist. I see you more of an as a narrator. It's like it feels like you're
Yeah.
more guiding us through like battles and all.
Yeah, no, that's like exactly how I feel, you know. Like I'm not like I don't know, I just feel corny when I try to be like a great vocalist. Like,
Fair.
the greats out there, like, when I watch
And
bands like
like
Metallica and I watch,
honestly, when
like,
it comes to the
just
stories, like the
even, like,
storytelling,
Cannibal
like
Corpse
uh,
and stuff, I just, like, can't I just don't see myself like that. Like, I wish, like, I could sometimes, but I see myself as, like, another instrument in the band, where it's like I'm flowing with the beat, you know?
talking about the fact that you said you see yourself as a like as an instrument in the band, not as a vocalist. That's something, in my opinion, really ties the band together and like make the sound even more genuine. And I just want to know, like, the stories behind the lyrics. Are they more like personal or just like purely conceptual?
Uh, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of personal stuff behind all these songs. But I try and like write our lyrics at least like in a very general sense because our music is very feeling based, so like I want the person that's like listening to us to kind of be like in a sense feeling like this is the background music to their day, or whatever they have to do. That's similar to like how I used to listen to, music back in the day when I didn't have money for CDs and all that stuff. I'd be listening on the
Yeah,
radio or a CD someone gave me or something, and I'd want it to be like kind of like I was the hero to my story and I needed a background music, because I loved wrestling and I loved, movies and, all that stuff. So like for me, like I like needed a soundtrack, you know,
yeah,
and it made me feel more powerful and more like I could do it and it made me feel more confident. So I like, genuinely write music like that for people who need it, and we
yeah,
write it so that we could feel that when we're playing it and having to deal with things, and so, you know, naturally though, like when I'm writing lyrics to songs, for our stuff, like I'm digging into like personal life experience and loss and grief and, depression and, all the things that we all have to face like on a daily basis, and
yeah,
there's a lot of deep meaning in all these songs, every single one of them.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing that. I want to go back again to the album on No Place of Warmth, something that really stood out. The two singles that you guys shared already. So you bring in a very, very different collaborations, like from Rob Flynn to the unexpected feature with the Gerard Way. So how did you approach those collaborations, like, and what made each of them feel right within the Frozen Soul song?
Um, well, I think we like worried less about how they were gonna fit, and more about just doing cool things with people that we respect, look up to, or are friends with, and
Yeah,
it's like it was more or less like, how do they fit the song? It's like they're gonna fit the song because they're gonna sing on it, So if they sing on it, they're gonna fit in however they fit, and that's the beauty of it. It just is what it is at that point. And we typically try and only work with like friends and whatnot.
okay,
And, we became friends with Gerard and Rob, and we've been friends with Devin for a long time, and we've come up at the same time and stuff. So, like, yeah, we pretty much just asked them, and they were all down in their own respective ways. And, Rob, especially though, like, he really took ownership in the song, and he wrote all of his lyrics for his part where he was by himself. And yeah, I love him. I love Rob. He's a
sick.
great dude, and he really took ownership in the song and whatnot. Gerard was, we became friends with him a few years ago. He invited us out to their show, and we hung out and stuff. And then we went in. You know, we're playing LA, and he came out to our show, and I just kind of hit him up as a joke, not really a joke, but just kind of like not really thinking he was gonna say yes because he's a busy guy, and he totally was down to just do something cool because it's off the wall and whatnot, and that worked out so great. And like I said, Devin was just smooth because we were just waiting to have a song we felt like it was heavy enough to have Devin on it, you know,
Yeah.
and whatnot. But yeah, that was all easy.
Nice. And have you ever think about like how the reception of those songs will be? Or was it about trusting your vision and no matter what?
I mean, I think that there's definitely parts of us that were nervous, but not as much about like what other people would think, but what we would think, you know?
Yeah.
Like, cause we worked really hard on those songs, and and it's more or less like we were really proud of them the way they were, you know? And so it's like we were just a little nervous about adding features and then like having the issue come into play where it's like we, w- it, we wouldn't be happy with the features,
Yeah.
not necessarily having to do with how good someone did their vocals or whatever. It's just the fact that like, it changes the song that we put so much work into, you know? That's what we were the most nervous about. But like, luckily, like they all turned out sick and,
Yeah.
and
And
I'm way more stoked at the way the songs are now than the way they were. So,
so yeah, so honestly, No Place for Warmth like is on my daily Spotify list. That especially those riffs are like fucking addicted, man. They're addicted.
yeah.
I love that.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you like it, man.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, and I want to go back again, like something that said that really resonates with me. Like earlier you said about you talked about not overthinking this time when it comes to writing No Place for Warmth. So how do you balance that with keeping the album tight and cohesive?
I think we're always just focused on like playing songs that are like easy to like relate to, you know? At the end of the day. We just want songs that are just like raw emotion that are easy
Yeah,
to kind of understand. It's less about like overcomplicating things and undercomplicating things and more so about just writing a song that like people can bang their heads to. Cuz there's plenty of people out there already doing songs that are great and complicated and super technical or like very overly simplistic and like there's plenty of bands already trying to do different things. We're just trying to make a song that like someone could be like, fuck yeah, you know, or hell yeah, brother. Like we just want somebody to listen to and go, hell yeah, brother.
nice.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's really all about that.
fair. I can completely understand that. And also like I really love the answer, man. Like I don't care, whatever. Like as long as people can say "fuck yeah," that's it. As long as people are gonna handbang, you're gonna
Yeah.
feel like their neck's gonna be sore in the next day. Yeah, I know for a fact that Chad is
Yeah.
gonna be
That's
happy.
it. Yeah. That's it. That's all I care about.
And also, like as Frozen Soul like grows and grows, and now reaches new audiences. So, what's the one line that you would never cross?
I don't even know. I don't think there's a line like I mean, I guess like the only lines we're not gonna cross are like lines that are gonna hurt somebody, you know? Or like,
Mhm.
just I don't know, like just stuff that doesn't have anything to do with with the point of this band, you know?
Yeah,
And it's like, we but like we're always just trying to have fun, you know? So I think the only thing opportunities we're going to get are fun opportunities. I don't think we're the type of band that's going to get any sort of weird line crossing opportunities where we got to make a decision like that. So, we're not going to do anything that involves hurting people. That involves like, putting ourselves at, risk or our friends or family or fans,
yeah.
anything like that. Like we're gonna just keep it fun and cool, No, every pun intended, you know.
So, like more like manifest what you expect.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
And so, looking forward, like, do you see Frozen Soul getting either heavier, more experimental, or like even more stripped down?
I think we'll just go wherever the winds take us. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
I don't really ever see us being a band that's going to be technical, you know, just because
yeah,
that's not us as people. We are idiots, you know? we like being idiots. It's just the way it is. We like listening to dance music and fucking off, you know? I mean, like, we're just trying to have fun, you know? Like, I mean, life is hard enough as it is, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we gotta just like have fun and, you know, give other people ways to have fun, you know, and whatnot. And also it be positive fun, you know, and not necessarily about all the other shit you got to do to have fun, you know. It's like we're genuinely just trying to play badass music, you know, and so we're just going to go with whatever is going to do that and accomplish that, you know, as long as we can.
You couldn't have said it better. So thank you so much, Chad, and thanks, Frozen Star, for getting the time to talk with us. This was a very great conversation. We really loved it. And guys, please
Yeah.
make sure to check out No Place for Worms, dropping May 8th via Century Media Records. Like this is easily like one of the most focused and aggressive releases yet. Anything
Oh,
else you
man.
want to add,
Thanks,
Chad?
dude. Appreciate you.
Of course. Anything else you want to add?
Nah, not really, man. Just you know, if you're listening, take care of yourself.
Thank you. Like, so this is again Faisal. Thank you, Chad, and see you next time. Cheers.